الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him, we adore Him, and we send salutations upon the noblest of mankind, His household, His companions, and those who tread their footsteps till the day of recompense. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to count us amongst them. We welcome every one of us to the next episode, the 13th episode on Tuhfatul Atfaal series. In the previous episode, we explained al-idgham and its types, and inshallah, we'll be moving to the next very important topic, which is al-mudud, or you say al-mad, by the singular elongation. So this aspect of tajweed is very important because the one who wants to recite the Quran has to recite with tartil. He has to perfect the recitation, and for you to be able to perfect the recitation of the Quran, you need to have a good mastery of what al-mad is, which is elongation, its duration, where and where not to elongate, and how to elongate. And inshallah, we'll be discussing all of that in this episode and the next one, inshallah. So Sahibu at-Tuhfa al-Jamzuri rahimahullah ta'ala, he said in his poem that أقسام المد والمد أصلي وفرعي له وسم أولا طبيعيا وهو لا توقف له على سبب ولا بدونه الحروف تجتلب بل أي حرف غير همز أو سكون جاء بعد مد فالطبيعي يكون والآخر الفرعي موقوف على سبب كهمز أو سكون مستلى حروفه ثلاثة فعيها من لفظ واي وهي في نوحيها والكسر قبل الياء وقبل الواو ضم شرط وفتح قبل ألف يلتزم واللين منها الياء وواو سكنا إن انفتاح قبل كل أعلنا. So let us translate and explain what mad actually means according to Sahih al-Tuhfa. He says, وَالْمَدُّ أَصْلِيٌّ وَفَرْعِيٌّ لَهُ وَسَمِّ أَوَّلًا طَبِيعِيًّا وَهُ. وَالْمَدُّ, you see what we call al-mad, elongation, because we have numerous elongations in the Quran. So the elongation generally is of two types. We have the primary elongation and the secondary elongation. So asli, maddul asli and maddul far'i, that is the first type. Al-maddul asli and al-maddu al-far'i. So the first type of elongation is called وَسَمِّ أَوَّلًا طَبِيعِيًّا وَهُ. The first type of elongation is called al-maddu al-tabi'i. It is also asli. We said there are two types. The first one is al-maddu al-asli. The second one is al-maddu al-far'i. Al-asli means the primary mad. The second al-far'i means the secondary mad. The maddu al-asli is also called al-maddu al-tabi'i. Al-maddu al-tabi'i, the natural mad. And what is this natural mad? What is this tabi'i? Mad, he defines al-maddu al-tabi'i in the next line. He says ما لا توقف له على سبب. Al-maddu al-tabi'i is that mad that does not have a cause, a reason. That is, it is not depending on any reason before you elongate. There is no reason for it. You cannot find any sabab, any cause for elongation. It is not dependent on any cause for it to become an elongation. وَلَا بِدُونِهِ الْحُرُوفُ تُجْتَلَبْ. And in fact, you cannot even have a mad without it. It is impossible for you to have a mad, to pronounce a mad without the حروف الطبيعي. بل أي حرف غير همز أو سكون جاء بعد مد فالطبيعي يكون. In fact, whatever letter besides the hamza or the unvoweled letter, it is the sukun. Whatever letter apart from hamza or sukun appears after a letter of mad, then the result is al-mad al-tabi'i. And what does this mean? if you should have any letter appearing and the letter appearing behind it is a letter of mad. So the letters of mad are three. They are alif, waw, that is waw with sukun, and ya also with sukun. So if you have any letter appearing before any of these three letters of mad, then you have al-mad al-tabi'i naturally, and this letter is taking haraka. For example, ja. We are not doing iltifat. We are not considering what is behind now. We are only considering the letter of mad and the letter before it. So the letter before it is taking fatha, or any letter, any haraka it's taking, and you have a letter of mad coming after it, succeeding it, then you have al-mad al-tabi'i. We will explain with examples inshallah. والآخر الفرعي موقوف على سبب كهمز أو سكون مسجلة. And the second type of mad is al-far'i, that's the secondary mad. It has a sabab, that is dependent on a sabab. And what is this sabab? It could be hamza or sukun. So far'i is of two types. The far'i could be far'i that is caused by sukun, or the mad al-far'i that is caused by hamza. So these ones we'll discuss it in next episode inshallah. So now we said mad is of two types. We have asli and far'i. Asli is the primary mad, and it's also called at-tabi'i, the natural mad, and it is the foundational mad that you cannot have mad without it. You cannot even have the far'i mad without it. Then we have far'i, which is the secondary mad, and it is dependent on a cause. There has to be something that would cause it, an effective cause. So the causal agent could be hamza or sukun. So generally the letters of mad, so it's going back to the general letters of mad, which is also the letters of what asli. It says hurufuhu thalathatun fa'iha. The letters of mad generally is what? There are three. Fa'iha, so grab them, that is memorize them. Min lafdhi wayin wahya fi nuhiha. From the mnemonics wayin, that is these three letters that form the word wayin, and they are waw, alif, and ya. Waw, alif, and ya. Wahya fi nuhiha, and you have it in the example nuhiha. So here he is explaining to us what is mad al-tabi'i. So mad al-tabi'i is what we have in nuhiha. If you take out nuhiha, you can find three mad al-tabi'i therein. So what did we say mad al-tabi'i is from our explanation? We said mad al-tabi'i is the primary mad or the natural mad. So anytime any of the letters of mudud they occur, and you have a letter preceding them, any letter that is different, that is not hamza and is not sukun, you have a letter preceding them that's taking haraka, whether fatha kasra dhamma, then you have mad al-tabi'i. But he mentions a shart, just under one condition, and the condition is that wal kasru qabla al-ya wa qabla al-wawi dhamm. Al-kasru qabla al-ya, it has to be the condition has to be that when you see ya, the letter that is coming before it has to take kasra. Wa qabla al-wawi dhamm, and when you see waw, and the letter that is preceding it has to take dhamma. Sharutun, this is the shart, this is condition. Wa fathun qabla alifin yultazam, and also the letter coming before alif has to take what? Fatha. That is, you need to have, before you can say this is mad al-tabi'i, first you must recognize it could be anywhere. The word qala, it is mad al-tabi'i. Why is it mad al-tabi'i? You have alif, and the letter preceding alif is what is taking fatha, and that's one of the shart. So that is what al-mad al-tabi'i. So anytime you find a letter of mad, if it is alif, it has to take the letter before it has to take what? Anytime you find a letter of mad, then you know you have mad al-tabi'i. But with the condition that it has to be the letter as preceding it has to take a haraka that fits it. So if it takes a haraka that fits it, it is mad al-tabi'i. If it does not take a haraka that fits it, it's not even a mad at all. It will never be a mad. And it could be a mad, but it will need a sabab for it to be a mad. It will need a sabab after it for it to be a mad. We'll come to that inshallah. So basically, if you have a letter of mad, alif, then you need to have a letter before it that is taking fatha. Before you can say this is mad al-tabi'i. Example, qala. If you have um, waw with sukun, that is waw, you need to, and you have a letter before it's taking dhamma, then you know it is mad al-tabi'i. And if you have ya, and you have a letter coming before it, the letter preceding it taking kasra, then you know it is mad al-tabi'i. The example is there in what? Nuhiha. Nu, you see nu, that's mad al-tabi'i. That's the first mad al-tabi'i because it is waw and the letter preceding it is nun taking dhamma. So that fits it. He, this is ya, and the letter preceding it is taking kasra. So it is what? This is mad al-tabi'i. And ha, alif after the ha, alif. And letter preceding it is ha with fatha. Then it is what? It is mad al-tabi'i. So that's the first example. That's, we are done with mad al-tabi'i, mad al-asli. So he now wants to talk about al-mulhaqatu bi al-tabi'i or mulhaqatu al-tabi'i. Those mudud, some of the mududs that they attach them to mad al-tabi'i. They are not mad al-tabi'i, they are far'i because they have a sabab, they have a cause. But they attach them to tabi'i because of the duration is the same thing. So I did not mention the duration. Duration of all mad al-tabi'i is just 2 haraka. 2 haraka. Nuhiha, qala alhamdulillah, qala, just 2 haraka. And how do you denote, how do you discern how long this 2 haraka is? So the scholars, there is no, the scholars, many of the scholars are of the opinion that the duration it takes you to unlock 2 fingers when you are counting. If you clench your fist and you try to unlock your fingers, the duration it takes you to unlock 2 fingers is the duration of 2 haraka. Or some of them say the duration it takes you to say alif moderately. Alif is 2 haraka. Qala, alif. That is the qa is what we are looking at, not from the beginning of qaf, but when you start the mad. The second one is al-lin, which is other far'i, but it is mulhaq, it is attached to mad al-tabi'i because it has the same duration and the same similar in a way. This is wal-lin minha al-ya wa wawun sukina in infitahun qabla kullin u'lina. So lin is when you have ya or waw, it has just 2 haraka. Madul lin, the first mad we've treated is mad al-tabi'i, we are done with it, the primary mad. The madul lin under attached to mad al-tabi'i, though it is a mad far'i, it is secondary mad, it is when you have ya or waw also, because ya or waw and alif, they are the letters of mad, they are the ones that will cause all kind of mads. So basically they are there for tabi'i without any reason, but for lin there's a reason. And what's the reason? The reason is sukun. The reason is sukun. This is when you are stopping, because you are stopping is it's a sukun that is arid. It's a sukun that is just coming up without it's not a natural sukun. I would explain what we mean by that. So we said when lin has 2 letters, that's ya and waw, when they take sukun. These ones they take sukun, but the letters that is preceding them is taking fatha, hatman. So alif is not a letter of lin. Lin has just 2 letters. When you have waw or ya and the letter preceding them is taking alif, it has to take alif. If it takes any other haraka, it's not lin. If it takes any other haraka, it is not lin. So if it's taking alif, then it is lin. And you are stopping on that word. Like what? Qawl. Qaf, waw and lam. Qa is taking fatha, waw is taking sukun, and lam is taking dhamma, but because you are stopping on it, it is lin. Qawl. Li'ilafi Quraysh. That mad that you express. Oh, you are stopping on Quraysh is what is lin. So you are stopping on it, and the ya is taking sukun, and the letter preceding the ya is taking fatha. You have that also in al-bayt when you are stopping on it. So when you are not stopping on it, there is no mad. So this is telling us that sabab, the reason for the mad is what is sukunul arid, the sukun that is coming up because you are stopping on it. That's the sabab. Remember we said there are 2 sababs for far'i. It could be sukun or hamza. So the sabab for lin is what? The reason for lin, for pronouncing the mad of lin is what? It's sukun. So al-bayt. قريش, and like that. قول. So the duration for lean is 2 haraka or 4 haraka or 6 haraka. You can elongate 2, 4 or 6. Yes, it depends. And if you start with 2, you have to continue with 2. If you start with 4, probably I started with tadweer. Tadweer is medial recitation, the medium form of recitation. Then you have to complete with 4. And if you started with tartil or tul, the full recitation, then you have to recite with 6 harakat. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف. So that is Maddu al-Lin. So we'll stop here and continue on Madud inshallah in the next class. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.